Hey guys, TheNuttyBuckeye here. I am happy to be filming my 12th video of 2022. Actually, it's, I guess, like my 19th. But I said I would try to do one every month, so this is my December one. And I was slacking the last couple months, didn't get them out on time. And then, of course, for December, I get it the very last day of the year. But I was trying to think what I could do for my last video to go over toys or something I collect that I'm really enthused by. And this year I found a line, actually it was a little late last year, but they didn't have much stuff out, so I couldn't really get into it. But I got into Action Force by the Valaverse or Valaverse, done by Bobby Valla. He's a former employee at Hasbro, and when he left, one of his friends talked him into looking into other things, and he saw the license for the name was available, grabbed it and ran with it. And not only did he run with it, he sprinted to the championship finish line, because as far as I'm concerned, these Action Force figures are amazing. And I'm a little late to the boat doing reviews because there's a lot of reviews out there on all the different figures. And I'm probably not going to go into everything or most anything like articulation, things like that. But I do want to show off some of the models that I've got open at least, and just give you an idea of what's available for the line. Because, I mean, Valla is just crushing this industry with some amazing sculpts, the posability, the uniqueness, and the realism. It's so realistic on the pieces. He's actually got, I don't know if you guys know him or not, but Tony Roberts from Analog Toys, he was a special forces operator for the British Armed Forces. And he did a figure of Tony that his face looks aged like he does now rather than when he was young and in the service, but the figure is spot on. They've got his tattoos on his arm, his sleeve. It's amazing, and the detail is incredible. A lot of Hasbro guys are upset that this is doing so well, and or not guys, but fans of Hasbro, and they like to talk crap about it. But in all actuality, this line can be mixed with anything like Classified, Marvel Legends, and just you name it. But it's like a modern military look in a shortly post-apocalyptic world. I guess not apocalypse, but post-American democratic world or Republican world, where the Democratic Republic has fallen, and now it's military factions as their different forces. But I'm going to get into showing you the figures now, and we'll talk about that. But again, if you're here, thanks for tuning in. If you're new, welcome. I talk about, again, toys, action figures, comic books, videos, video games, Lego. Even sometimes I might mention true crime stuff. But if you're here, I appreciate you tuning in. And if you're a regular, thanks for coming back. And again, feel free to always spread the word, get people to subscribe and like the channel. And if you haven't done so yet, why don't you hit those buttons and follow us around and see what we talk about next year, because I plan on doing more and trying to learn even more about video editing, YouTube, and get more videos posted. And again, I really want to get into my goal and dream of like really nice photographing for miniatures and action figures. So hopefully we can see some of that next year. But again, let's get into these figures and show you how awesome Action Force is by Bobby Valla and the Valaverse. Now, as you can see on my desktop, I've got a lot more than Valaverse. It's just my typical display that I've got in front of my computer when I work. And I know my wife has complained that it's definitely gone from being a realtor's office to being a toy shop, practically. I don't know if you saw the boxes behind me in the intro, but it's a little ridiculous, I have to admit. But the nutty mama can just, I guess, deal with it for a bit. I am in the process of trying to straighten up. That's why the boxes are here, trying to pack up some stuff I don't really use. But again, as I was saying, the Action Force figures are absolutely amazing. As you can see behind the figures, they have data cards that you can cut out from their boxes, and you can put them on the back of the action figure stand with Action Force in a little slot when you're displaying them. And to me, that is incredibly awesome. It's a throwback to the nostalgia of G.I. Joe 3 3/4 when we were growing up, getting the little action file cards on them. Gives you a background and like a universe, what you're collecting. On top of that, the action figure stands, they're great. They can work with other lines. For an example, I've got Snake Eyes here on an action figure, an Action Force stand, and it works just as well with him as any other, as well as most other lines. And the Action Force stands are so great. They just look like diamond cut pattern and with like a steel print. They have them in multiple colors in black, bolt gun metal, or sorry, this one I paint, like a burnished metal. They've got a tan. They've got a clear yellow. It's really cool, and it's just a great way to stand up your figures. Here is maybe a third of what they've got out so far. It's just a huge line. It's hard to believe that it went from their second Kickstarter to get going, and in 1 year they've got like, I want to say 40 to 50 some releases, and I might not even be counting all of them. And they've got t-shirts. There's a novel that's printed. It's Amazon that you can order right now. They've got comics, in-depth comics, if you were part of the Kickstarter, or if you can buy them from the website. And one thing that's cool is when you get them, they come signed by the man himself, Mr. Bobby Valla, and they're great. They're great art. They also give you great insight into the universe as well. Kind of feels like when G.I. Joe started back in the day, how like, man, I really want this guy to survive. He's one of my favorites. But they also have your generic run-of-the-mill grunts that you can build up to make him look like a hero, or keep him as basic as you want. For example, we've got the Urban Republic Guard. We've got the Riot Republic Guard. We've got the Desert Infantry Commando basic trooper, and he comes with all those added on to him as well. While the original basic troopers, they either just came with a pistol or just their action figure itself. But they are incredibly priced at just over $20 for those action figures. You got the other two Republic Guards. One would be a perfect SWAT team member, and the other one looks almost like Firefly. And what do you pay for Firefly from Hasbro these days, from Classified? I don't know, maybe $30 some, $40, I don't know. And then they also have UFC veteran and hero in his own right, Tim Kennedy, serving in the military, and his background is his love of patriotism in our country. That's just a great model for him. And also, as I was mentioned, Desert Rat, here he is, Mr. Tony Roberts, in his action figure form. You can see the sleeve of tattoos there on his right arm, and the detail on these figures is just absolutely incredible. But I've been saving to talk about my favorite of the whole line. In my opinion, the main man. He's a little misunderstood, but in the comics you find out how awesome he is. He's not your typical run-of-the-mill bad guy wanting to kill everything. He does things for certain reasons to make sure they get done right, and no one can use things against him and his forces. But Carrick, he's got a removable helm. He's got 3 extra hands that come with him, multiple accessory like weapons. You got a handgun firearm. If I can get it to come in focused. There we go. It looks like a 1911 in my opinion. Then you got a pump action sawed-off shotgun that he tucks into his sheath on his back. And he's also got a beautiful Bowie, or Bowie, however you want to pronounce it, that knife. And it is a beast. Just one of my absolute favorite action figures, collectible action figures that I've ever had in my collection. The posability on these guys, I don't really want to get into it. There's many other sites that are fantastic. The guys that have covered this are great. Like if you go to Articulated Ninja or D Amazing, they do some fantastic videos showing the posability and the way these guys work. You've got their enemy guys, the Swarm here, the Swarm Soldier, the Scarab. It's just an amazing line that I am so happy that I'm collecting it. They've got websites with a great fan base, Legions, Valaverse, full of fantastic Valaverse Legionnaires following it. There's some exclusives that they've done out. As I mentioned, the Infantry Commando, he was an exclusive with Dorkside Toys, but they have, as you know, if you follow the toy industry, they've gone under now, and Bobby picked up most of the stock back, and he's getting rid of it himself, which it's probably already gone by how awesome these figures are, especially over the holiday. And then another one that was an exclusive, you've got your Night Ops Steel Brigade member from, this was from Big Bad Toy Store. And the exclusives that Bobby's been putting out with different companies have been just absolutely amazing. They have all the same kind of detail, added accessories that most every other fig has. And they're just so unique and awesome to the line. I know I probably sound like a raging fanboy talking about how awesome it is, but when you see a line that can group up with G.I. Joe Classified and see how well this designer, Bobby Valla, has done since he left Hasbro, it is absolutely amazing that somebody could get this done in 1 year with such beautiful, awesome models and figures. They match up well with most other toy lines. As you can see behind the Blue Republic Guard there, you've got the Bad Batch, so they scale up great with the Black series from Star Wars. You've got Diego Luna's character from Andor, and as you see, he's just a little shorter. He's not on a stand though, so that adds heights to these guys. And then you can see here they are in their bases next to Haunt from the McFarlane line, and above them you've got the Witchers from the McFarlane line. The the Diamond Direct with the Lord of the Rings, they might look a little large compared to them when you see Gandalf back there. But then again, it might be Gandalf's tall hat that's making him look so tall to me. And Gimli, of course, being shorter, being a dwarf, you don't know how it matches up. Here is a Fortnite figure from Hasbro, the greatest Fortnite character that has ever existed. And as you can see, he matches up pretty well with him as well. If you wanted to play with Fortnite, like for some reason, there's a pancaked-headed outlaw running around, and these Valaverse guys got to put him down, which sadly they're going to lose because Mancake is the man made of pancakes. And he's even got a little sidekick back there next to Gimli's pop. Well, if you've been turning in this long watching it, and you've gotten the recommendations to check out the other sites of the Posability, I just want to say I thank you guys for being here all year, supporting me, watching me, not giving up on me, even when I slacked off on getting videos posted. And I want to thank you very much for just, I guess, the support I've been getting from this small group. And I'd love to grow it as my hobby and see how it goes. So if you do want to spread the word, feel free. If you don't worry about it. If you're new here and you haven't liked the page or subscribed, please do so. I'd love to have that support as well. I'm going to try and do some newer things and more exciting things in the new year. Go over more toys from lines that I haven't done. As you can see, the office is packed with boxes of toys that I need to review. There's some Lego I've never reviewed, my own personal Naboo Starfighter that the Mando's got. So I've got a lot of stuff that I've got to do reviews on. The closet is completely full. The cabinet's completely full. So stick around for 2013. Hopefully I can make it 100% better than I've done this year. I'll try to be more on top of things and get a schedule maybe and let you guys see me more regularly, or at least when I'm supposed to be seen. And again, if you haven't checked it out, check out Valaverse.com. Again, Bobby Valla has done just an amazing job with these action figures. And if you haven't supported any of the other channels or watched the other channels that help push Valaverse, look into Analog Toys with Tony Roberts, the real Deseret himself. Look into the 3POA podcast on and also on YouTube. They've got a YouTube channel with those guys. It's got Bobby Valla, Tony Roberts, and Ryan, Mr. Laser Pants himself. And they're just fantastic pages and showing off and talking about great action figure work, let alone they also include Action Force. Also, The Amazing site on YouTube and Articulated Ninja. All of those are just, in my opinion, iconic sites, great for action figures, posability, and breakdown on how the figures work. Again, I appreciate you guys tuning in. If you're still here, thanks a lot. I love the support. I really appreciate it. God bless you. Have a great new year. Look forward to 2023 and all the blessings that are going to come to you. If you're having any dark times right now, try to turn away from those. Turn to the light. Follow all the goodness in the light, and just turn away from that. You know you've got friends, family that love you, that will be willing to take care of you, talk to you. And if you got nobody, feel free to message me on Facebook or sorry, on YouTube. I might be a little late with the Nutty Buckeye slowness, but I will do everything I can to get back with you and talk to you. No one needs to go through that stuff alone. Again, God bless. Happy New Year. Today's the championship for the Buckeye games, so let's go Bucks. Beat Georgia. Sorry, Dogs fans, if you're out there, but got to go with my Buckeyes. I am the Nutty One himself. God bless again. Happy New Year, and take care. Nutty Buckeye out.